So now we're going to walk through the apps and go through kind of the subscriptions as well. So if you go into your app section, you'll notice all the apps that you have right now, and some of them will be self-explanatory, right? ShipStation is where you're going to manage orders and process the orders. You'll have to put in your email and password associated with that to log in and see ShipStation. If you could do that, I'll show you around ShipStation a little bit more in a separate video. QuickBooks, this you'll probably only be contacting me if once an order rings up, like it says 3 products not found in QuickBooks. I'm gonna hit review, right? These first transactions are not as important, but they are definitely related to, we want to make sure that these get ticked and tied so that what you report in Bigcommerce gets reported properly in QuickBooks. You'll hit this little button right here that says update configuration, and you can either create it as a new item in QuickBooks. This is where you can tell where it's going to go as far as where did the payment go, how was it taken, it's an inventory item, the SKU, all of that, and map the individual payment methods so that, this right now was a test one, right? But where is that going to go afterwards, right? So all these 3 products need to get mapped in QuickBooks, and that'll be an important step for you. Smileio is actually an app for rewards program. So in a previous video that I made, I told you to go in here. You can either enable points or referrals. So in the wine industry, we can only do things that are either points. They have to basically equate to a gift card, right? But for you guys, you can enable either. I'm really trying to have people test both programs and see what interests people the most. The referral program is basically someone puts this out, let's say on social media, and every person who then comes and buys, they'll get, let's say $5 or $10 in in-store credit. So if they get 10 people, they get $100 in-store credit. But each of those people have to make a purchase. So you've gotten cash, and you're just thanking a customer for their loyalty and for getting you customers. This could be similarly associated with an affiliate program, but the person doesn't get ongoing commissions, which is kind of nice. This is rewarding customer for taking specific actions. So if we go in here, this says, hey, if a member places an order and then they go and they post it on social media, here's what they will get. They'll get $100, right? We'll give them $1 if they post this out on social media. Maybe you're testing that to see what happens, and do people respond better on Instagram, Facebook? Like, I'll give you $1 for Facebook, I'll give you $1 for Instagram, I'll give you $1 for this. And, it totals up to a similar thing as giving them points for closing a deal, right? For getting a customer to actually come by. Privy is your, this is more for your newsletter signups, right? And the pop-ups to get people to come and spend money, right? So your total signups are 2, total redemptions are 1, campaign value. Obviously, we'll need to clear this because no one has actually seen this. If you go in here, there's some things that you have to finish setting up to get started. And there are events to teach you how to use Privy better and how to, split test so that you test marketing messages to, let's say 1,200 people get one message, 1,200 people get another. I know those numbers seem large right now, but hopefully As you start using Smile and Privy and different things, those will be minuscule numbers that you hit pretty quickly. This is your events calendar and how it's kind of set up. If you hit upgrade, you'll learn more. You hit publish, it's all ready to go. This is an embed code, meaning that this is the code that was copy and pasted into the page to get the calendar to show up. Here's where you'll add events, right? This is the connection to Eventbrite. You can add another account. So Facebook, you can connect to Google or Outlook, whichever one you're using for calendars, and that'll block it off or block off times that someone would normally try to schedule something. Color scheme, right? Your design, and then font and everything else. This is your MailChimp sync. So this is where you'll look at, obviously I created all of these other than the pop-up form in MailChimp. The pop-up form I think was this last thing that you asked for. So everything else I created earlier, and those are those automated. You can click it and go into MailChimp and check them and make changes. This is your Shopkeep integration, which I believe still says that you need to set up your Shopkeep. You need to get into your store name with all of this and connect it. And that'll help with syncing the Shopkeep store, Bigcommerce to the Shopkeep store, so that all your inventory gets updated in QuickBooks and Shopkeep. Last thing is, the Subscription, which is your the specific plan for how you're going to have products. You have to go in here and actually, we've done this of creating the page as a subscriptions page. You're going to have to go in and pick the plan. So it looks like here's the plan, right? Subscribe and save 10%. So when we go back and we look at a product, if I'm looking at your body wash, right? I hit edit. There's an object. This is to enable Google Shopping, which you might want to do if you want your products to be listed on Google as an item that you want to sell. This is for wholesalers if you want to add pricing details for them or for any specific types of customers. In your storefront, under web pages, there is a subscriptions page. So in here, basically with this, you're going to have to go and activate the subscription, and then we can associate it with the rest of the products. It looks like you created a plan. So we could just say every month to month in this. So this is where we have to select all the products that you want. So if it's body wash, right, you hit body wash, you hit save, and you keep adding or delete the ones you don't want. So this is where you can look at how it's going to show up on the page for that specifically, and more information about whether it's how it'll function. And connect with your Square account. I would just confirm that that's connected. And then the big thing is just adding which products you want, which I believe are everything in the fragrance section. So like body wash, etc. And now when I go into products and I select body wash, if I hit view, fragrance type, subscribe and save. So subscribe and save will now show up. Once I've selected the other two options, I can hit subscribe and save. So that's everything. Let me know what questions pop up, and have a great day.